Why hasn't Gjallarhorn been brought forward into Year 2 content yet? It has been almost 9 months since the launch of the Taken King, which also means it's been nearly 9 months since the beloved Gjallarhorn has been dwindling about in our vaults gathering dust, awaiting the day I will finally see use again. The PvE monster, the LFG requirement, the most sought after exotic that was the difference between completing fights and failing fights in Year 1. Many people have been asking the questions, when will Gjallarhorn be brought into Year 2, and why hasn't it been brought into Year 2? When in reality, we all know the answer but don't want to admit it. Gjallarhorn was overpowered. In Year 1, Gjallarhorn was completely unrivaled by other launches, given it came stock with tracking, proximity, and the infamous tracking Wolfpack rounds. The closest thing that came to Wolfpack rounds were Hunger of Crota's cluster bombs and the Heathen Vengeance's Merv mini perks, which in all honesty were miles behind Gjallarhorn's Wolfpack rounds. Put Atheon aside, as snipers tended to be the better choice in that encounter, but Crota's End and the Prison of Elders both provided Gjallarhorn friendly environments, which resulted in its rampant use through most Year 1 PvE endgame activities. The point is now we're in Year 2, and not only have the Year 1 raids not been brought forward, but the way endgame content is played now doesn't really call for Gjallarhorn, hence why it should return. Let's look at the current content where Gjallarhorn could be used, and why it wouldn't promote trivial fights. First and foremost, Gjallarhorn is a PvE weapon. Like most launches, it could do work in the Crucible, but you are better off using a legendary launch with proximity, or if you're going to use an exotic launcher, use Truth. So for current PvE content, let's start with strikes and daily missions. As was the case in Year 1, Gjallarhorn will obviously be effective against strike bosses and packs of enemies, but that would be the case with any exotic heavy weapon. For launches, the new and improved Dragon's Breath would deal more overall damage than Gjallarhorn would, thanks to the incendiary canister it drops on the ground. And for DPS, Gjallarhorn is completely outclassed by the exotic Swords heavy attack, such as Phoenix Uppercut. So where does that leave Gjallarhorn? Less damage than Dragon's Breath and a lower DPS than the exotic Swords? All you can ask at this stage is why hasn't it been brought back given its competition? Okay, so what about the new Challenge of Elders? Nope, Gjallarhorn would be gravely inefficient. As the bonus points modifiers have been cycling between precision kills, grenade kills, melee kills and super kills, using a rocket on ads would only give you a handful of points, not really worth it at all. And what about the bosses? Well, if the boss has an AoE attack, use Dragon's Breath. If they don't have an AoE attack, use Raise Ladder. There is no reason to suggest that Gjallarhorn would be too strong for current content. If anything, it sounds like it would be too weak. Now for the King's Fall raid, the most important encounters. Let's look at each of the fights. Slamming the relics and proving your worth? Both would be ideal for Gjallarhorn, but so would an exotic sword. The War Priest? Gjallarhorn can work, but Black Spindle is far superior given it stun locks the War Priest and provides way more damage than Gjallarhorn ever could. Golgoroth? Nope. The Daughters of Oryx? Well, you can, but Touch of Malice completely out DPSs any other exotic. And finally for Oryx. While it could be used on the Light Eater Ogres, sniping them is far more consistent, staggers them, and gains benefits from buffs such as Weapon of Light. Not to mention, to stagger Oryx, you need to concentrate bullet fire, not Wolfpack rounds. To simply summarise why Gjallarhorn should return in Year 2, it actually has some decent competition now. The exotic swords and Dragon's Breath both outperform Gjallarhorn in different scenarios, meaning that Gjallarhorn's return will, if anything, just promote more variety, not an overpowered monster that it was in Year 1. So what do you guys think? Should Gjallarhorn make a return in Year 2? Are you happy it's no longer in use? I'm always happy to hear others' opinions. Thanks for watching. If you like this sort of content, feel free to subscribe. Catch you later.